theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
And got to take the mute off. Did I have the mute on there, Brian? I did indeed. I put the mute on there for the video, so that's why that was. But big shout out to you, Brian, in the chat there, and Hexcavator as well. Again, good to see you. All right, so we're going to have fun here talking about Bitcoin, Pulsechain, Mafia game, X28. TitanX is going Omnichain with X28. And we're going to talk a bit about PUSD ALGO, I think, as well. So we've got a bit of stuff in store there, so it should be good. Without further ado, we're going to also talk about quite a few around AI. So let's kick into it. And I love that video of Richard at the beginning, that Magic Cup Ride video. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Right, let's get into it. So we got the S&P 500 ends higher on tech rebound. And the Fed meeting is going to kick off, or has kicked off, and we'll get a result on that in about 20 hours. So it's coming up. So Dow Jones up a third of a percent, 137 points to 44,850. S&P 500 up 0.9%, 55 points to 6,067. And the NASDAQ with all the tech companies in it up 2%. So a nice little rebound there. And so look at the last week actually for the NASDAQ in the chart. Yeah, we had a big sell-off there, didn't we? All the way up the top. Almost 19,000, almost 20,000, came all the way down to 9,200. Big sell-off there, and a pretty decent recovery so far. Probably good in some ways. Sometimes it's going to be good to shake out a little bit of, a little bit of hyper move. As long as you've got a good forward roadmap, then that's probably okay. So we had the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ there, NVIDIA, which is the big powerhouse, the big value of the stock market. The tech sector has rebounded Tuesday with AI chip leader NVIDIA edging higher a day after $593 billion was wiped off its market value. Isn't that crazy numbers? And a single session loss for any company. Isn't that crazy? The biggest of all time. We are going through a period of records. It is crazy. Fears about Chinese AI startup DeepSeek, if you guys have seen that, posing a risk to AI dominance of the US corporates. It's downplayed by some on Wall Street, suggested the cheaper AI solution are likely to lead to wider adoption. Now, there's questions over, what sort of investment and chips that have been using. The approach, arguably, the approach is very different from, ChatGPT and others using modular approaches. So there's lots of different arguments out there. Elon Musk, of course, shouting it down a little bit about positive about AI. So just the way it goes. Our thinking on the matter hasn't changed since yesterday, whatever its ultimate impact on AI hardware revenue might be. And of course, this is if they did use a lot of less chips, then it's less demand for NVIDIA chips, right? The big AI chips coming out. That's kind of the shock there. But if they did use a lot more super smart chips, which some are arguing that they did, then it's not so bad, right? NVIDIA still get that big AI chip demand. What did they have? The Blackwell chip come out December, I think it was. What are they, about 20 grand each? I guess that's what they're using. The rebound amid big week for the big tech with the Magnificent Seven members, including Microsoft, Facebook, Apple, Tesla, report earnings later this week. So that's all coming this week. That's a big deal for this week. especially following, after Trump got into power. So we've got to look out for that. In crypto, we can't be ignorant of the impact of the market there. Now, investors waiting meeting there. Focus on this week squarely on the Federal Reserve. That's already started, so we're waiting for that. That's going to come up about 20 hours from now. We'll know whether the Fed's going to reduce interest rates at all. And remember that they did one percentage point last year, and so we were only down to expecting one rate cut this year. We know that President Trump is put a pressure on the Federal Reserve because he's trying to lower the input numbers into America so that they can rally the economy even more. Otherwise, low interest rates, low energy prices, things like that. So he has a decent amount of control over some of those. But of course, the Federal Reserve is independent. So we'll see what happens there. Fed's preferred gauge of inflation, PCE data, and advanced GDP estimates for the fourth quarter also due this week. What a big week this is. This is a big week. Let's not be this is a crazy big week. And of course, this is the week, the end of January, before we get into February, right? And February is normally big green for crypto, right? So these numbers going to be pretty interesting where the lay of the land is for the beginning of February. So a lot of data coming out as well. So that is kind of cool. Right, so that is where we're at the moment. Let's go have a look at the Fed rate monitor and see where the market is at with the president pressure, with the numbers coming out. So we got 98% expecting no change in interest rates. So that is what the market's expecting. So no presidential impact there. 2/3 of the market expecting no change in March as well. Only a third expecting 25 basis points. So we'll see where they land tomorrow. Maybe they might give a 25 basis point surprise. Who knows? We'll see. All right, so that's for tomorrow, the interest rates. We've got so much news this week coming out, man. It's going to be a crazy week. We're going into the weekend. Meanwhile, Bitcoin actually recovered very well, right? Bitcoin recovered, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But Bitcoin at the moment, 101,355. I think this is looking pretty good for our February run. And we're 57.5% at the moment on Bitcoin dominance, so that dominance gone up. That's kind of good. Remember last bull market in 21, Bitcoin dominance got up to about 70. Can you believe it? I'm not expecting it to get anywhere near that high because of the change in the market structure. We've got millions of tokens and well-developed protocols now as compared to back then. Back then bridges were very much in their infancy, very risky, but now they're pretty solid. Even though we don't think there's any model yet without keys to them. But it's pretty cool. Ethereum there at $3,088, down 2.7%. So Ethereum really weak at the moment, but it's going to have its day in the sun. And when it does, it's going to be pretty glorious. Still got a lot of institutional banking, Trump, investing, things like that. So keep a lookout for Ethereum at the moment. A really good pickup there. Solana down 3.6%, $226. BNB down 2.2%. ADA down 1.4%. 91, almost 92 cents there. XRP is the only one green here. 1.2% at $3.07. And hey, look, I'm not a big fan of XRP. I know that it's going to have better luck with the SEC court case, things like that. But Ripple pretty much just dumps on people's heads on that thing, right? So I'm not a big fan myself. We know obviously Ripple focuses on interbank transactions around the world, which is obviously a lot better than probably the SWIFT system and other things. But still, not so cool. Tron at the moment down 2.4%, 24 cents at the moment. That's kind of it amongst the leaders. Let's jump over to, you can see that generally the market is red. But Bitcoin over 100K, I think that's a pretty important place to consolidate. It hasn't been over 100K that long. So that's probably the big thing there. And so far, we have been pretty much on track with the expectations. Still no surprise here. Now, we had this sort of a little bit of a dip, bear trap here. Still think that's kind of playing out. I mean, I don't know. I don't really see this as a very good cup and handle with the structure, but it was kind of looking like a funny looking W as well. But I still think we're looking very good going into what is typically the greenest bullish month, February, and that's green line there. So still expecting that to happen. Still got 150K minimum on the target for March, April. So yeah, things are pretty good, and we know the market can pump 20K in a day. It's definitely doable, right? Look back here, we pumped over several days. Back here, we pumped $21,300 in 6 days. So it's definitely doable to get a pump like that in a week. So bring it on. That is where we are at the moment. All right, so Ethereum at the moment, like I say, has actually got quite weak, below the 200-day moving average. And we've got this, I don't know, it hasn't closed out yet, but we might get a rebound there in February. So I'm not too worried about this. I think it's kind of a very good entry at the moment on the 3,000 there. So that is where we are on Ethereum. And that brings us into Pulsechain, day 627. Can you believe it? Who else we got in the chat there? We got Toxic in the house. Woohoo! Good to see Hedgehog. We got Wookie as well. I'm working right. I'm working right. You're doing some work there, Wookie. Drop the case, says Wookie. Drop the case on Richard Hart, you mean? Yeah. Well, we got Pulse there, day 627. We got Pulse price exactly at quadruple 05. Isn't that funny? At 1.6%. So we're at 50% of the mean sacrifice price. PulseX at the moment is at quadruple 034, down up 4%. So we're sitting at 34% of the sacrifice price. Feels like we've been in this zone for a long time, doesn't it? Multiple years. We've got 6 days, 627 anyway. And not multiple years, but it feels like a long time. We've got the buy and burn is at 1.2 trillion. So 1.2 trillion there. 6.1% of the public supply is bought up and burned. Signum token is at 35,309 on the pulse ratio. So that is definitely down a little bit. But the price is up $1.76, up 2.8%. And the hex at the moment is sitting around 1.37 cents. EHEX at 2900 of a penny. Combined price EHEX and PX is at 1.66 cents at the moment, and that is only up slightly there on Pulsechain at 0.6%. So that is the market there. Let's have a quick look at the gas prices. Man, very elevated at the moment. We've been seeing, a million and a half on the beats. So we've got 4.2 million today. So that's pretty high at the moment while we're doing this live stream. Gwei on Ethereum is a 4 Gwei, so that's nice and low with the lower price of Ethereum. 59x cheaper than Ethereum at the moment. So there's the numbers for you. And validators 45,286. Looks like we've had a bit of an increase in validators. Yeah, we have. From looks at it, is it increase? No, it's actually decrease in validators. My bad. 45,286. Let's have a look at the bridge. Bridge is 125.9 million. So down slightly from yesterday. I think we were at 26.3 from yesterday or the day before. So we're just down slightly there, maybe 500,000, let's say, on the bridge. Otherwise, holding pretty nicely there in that range. Kind of cool. All right, so that is kind of neat there. Let's jump over to Pulsechain and have a look at the volumes. $26.3 million on volume on Pulsechain. We got 293,000 transactions in the last 24 hours. Looking at the trending 6 hourly, we've got a couple of new tokens here. Husky, Pulse Husky, $1.03 there, 4 hours old, so not very old. Another one of these new tokens that pops up there. 23K in liquidity. Well, they got 110 makers on it, so 138K volume. Small little retail play there. Not sure who's pumped that one out there. Inferno's been around for 12 days. It's up 100% almost at 93 liquidity. It's got a decent number of makers here. You've got to, not endorsing any of these. You don't know who they are. But Nexian has been around for 25 days, up 67%. So there's a couple of big movers there. And then, of course, it gets into Mafia, which we're going to be talking about today. Mafia there getting nicely pumped up 13.5% at 1.7 cents. 1700th of a 1700th of a cent there at the moment. So Mafia heading up, and we're going to be talking about that. What do we got there? So those are the only ones above 10%. Then we've got a whole list of them that are up a few percentage points there, including PulseX. So that is that one. So let's jump over to BNB Mafia since we're talking about it. BNB Mafia on Pulsechain. Now, BNB Mafia obviously is starting its business waves to opening up the businesses. So the first one up is the big roulettes, which are ranked number 2 by worth. So they're a pretty important business. And people have been playing roulette. There's been some winners, and there's been some 1 or 2 big losers. So just the luck of the draw that you didn't have to know what you're doing when you're playing roulette. When you're managing roulette and playing it. So there we go. So that is the Mafia there at the moment. So zigzag, but you can see the uptrend's pretty clear. The uptrend, the market is speaking. The market is starting to demand a Mafia, and it's probably early days, is my guess there, because we're ramping up still. So let's give a quick look at the Mafia. And before we do that, let me just check that I haven't got anything I don't want to be seen on my Mafia profiles there. Let me change this around. Let's change it around there. Let's have a look here. So we're going to refresh that too. Bam. Let's do it. So we're going to have a bit of an overview here. Let's jump back. All right, so we've got the Mafia game on Pulsechain. Pulsechain. We've got 1,135 players at the moment on that game, 28 crime families, and 7.56 billion in the vault. Now, we know that means that the vault, if you were to compare it to Pulsechain sacrifices, is in the top 200, probably about 190 to 200 ranking, and it's going up all the time. So it's a pretty big deal, right? So the Mafia Vault's becoming a top sacrificer, easy, top 200. So pretty impressive, right? There's 132 available tiles in the primary cell. So that means they're virtually all gone. You can buy them on the secondary market through the marketplace if you missed out on getting a map. That's kind of the play there. The family rankings. So we've got the Gearheads at number 1 there. We've got the Yakuza at number 2, the Salamancas number 3, the Hustlers number 4, and the High Table at number 5. That's by worth, but by access to the vaults. While Yakuza is number 1 there, Salamancas is number 2, Hustlers is number 3. We've got this new one here, Compass Points at number 4, and the Agency at number 5. So we'll see these small families how they get on, but the bigger families, probably end up taking their place in the vault when they want to choose to, right? Looking at the maps, maps are obviously pretty much sold out on Pulsechain. It was a huge gold rush. If you guys went there, it was pretty awesome. And it's virtually sold out. There's only 132 tiles left in the Messina map. Otherwise, everything's sold out. And of course, you can see which family or alliance they're dominated by is in the family channel there. Kind of cool. That is that. Let me jump over to the businesses. So the first business is up and running. Of course, we're currently in the stage where the businesses are opening up for business. The first one is roulette. So you actually got these little tabs. It's probably going to be changed around, in my view, as the game evolves, as they open up more. But we've got casinos. So casinos will have roulettes and slot machines. So those are the two ones there. And probably have those new businesses set up as well. Lottery hall. We've got a lottery hall down there. So that's all maps, right? They own them all maps. At the moment, we've got a couple open. Salamanca's got one open there, almost a 3 million profit there. That's quite a decent profit there out of the gate. Carlo in the Yakuzas, which is the family I'm part of, 2.3 million. And Albert there, also in the Yakuzas, 673. So they're all making some nice profit there. Some have lost money. Of course, Moondog, I think he lost 35 million or something. That is, I don't know why it's disappeared off the profit, but it was down like 35 million. And of course, that was about a $2,100 win. And then the adjudicator here is down on the high table here, 410,000, which is not too bad, but they've closed that for the time being. You do have to have in-game currency to cover, the winnings. You have to manage it properly. So there we go. Now, if you haven't, check out the marketplaces there. All right, so we will have weapons coming up. So gun stores, car crashes, bullet factories. I own a gun store, so in New York, so that's going to be popular. And we've got services. It's going to be services, hospitals, booze warehouses, detective agencies, banks, narcotics, and things like that. So it's open for business. It's going to be pretty cool. See lots of those coming down the pipeline. All right, so that is pretty kind of cool. And if we go to the wiki page, we can quickly see the stages. Like these are the launch phases for the launch of the game. We are in stage 9, open for business. So we've had roulettes, we've got slot machine developments coming next, and then we've got the lottery hall and jackpot live, which is only two new ones, which apparently I don't know if they've all gone yet. Let me know in the chat there if you're aware. And then we've got stage 2, banks go live, gun store goes live, hospital go live, bullet factory goes live. Then stage 3 is game dependent businesses, and then narcotics, booze warehouse, and car crashes. And they're coming up once the game launch. So they're going to have to wait a little while for that one. There. Pre-rankings coming up after that. And then raid spots, these are all pretty short. I think pre-ranking, that might be a little bit longer maybe. But raid spots will be pretty short, my guess. Communications probably be pretty quick. And then we'll be into the game launch. So I don't know. It's the end of January now. Maybe March. Is it March? Maybe even February even. Who knows how quick these will be. But let's say March. Let's say March for a launch. It's kind of a quick guesstimate there. Maybe early March, we'll see. Open for business, just depends on how long that takes. The rest of them kind of look like fairly fast. Maybe pre-ranking takes a little bit of work. We'll see. So that is pretty much it on the official launch there. So ticking away. What else? We got crates there. Crates at the moment. You can open up crates there, trying to get businesses. Still 38.1 million Mafia available. If you do that, every key that you have to do to open up a crate is $20. So remember that. What else? The exchange, the prices. So you can buy in-game currency, which you're going to need to develop your businesses and things like that. You buy on the market, or you can sell, which is the withdrawal button. The price is going up for in-game currency. Not surprising, it's getting pretty scarce. And the price ratio at the moment is 1 to 23. So the price goes up if Mafia price goes up and if the ratio goes up, right? So at the moment, we've got the Mafia price going up here, and we've got the ratio going up as well. So yeah, pretty crazy. We've had a high on the ratio of 21.4, it looks like, on the old Pulsechain side. And this is what you're buying. This is the sell tranches, right? So if you go to buy on here, you are buying that stuff, right? So you're buying through the cheapest stuff first, through the more expensive stuff as you go down. So you do need to check out what the sell side looks like. Otherwise, you could buy right through and pay a very high price if that's not what you wanted to do. So there we go. The conversion at the moment, mostly tiles. We've got the OTC trades there. People doing OTC trades. There's nothing on there at the moment. And of course, if you want to bulk buy keys to open up land tiles, there's still a few left, as we said on one of the maps. Then you can do that here under keys. What else are we going to say? The market is the secondary market where you can buy and sell all the in-game assets, including tiles and land, and everything is here. All the game, special game objects, and you can buy and sell. That's pretty much it. And you can use in-game cash too. So that's another means there. What else are we going to say? Let's have a look at the vault. Let's have a look at the vault. This is the big prize pool. So let's have a look at that. I'm trying to get on the right button there. 7.56 billion pulse, so $780,000. Imagine if Pulsechain just gets back to its sacrifice price, then that would be what's that, $740,000, and if it does a 2.5x, you're back to $1 million pretty much, ain't you? So yeah, not bad, 2.5x, and you're back to $1 million in the vault. That's a big game, $1 million game. If we do a 10x, we're in a multi-million-dollar game on Mafia. So money draws a lot of people, right? So, and we're still early, we still haven't launched yet. So there we go. Now remember, if you're buying and selling Mafia, there's a 4.7% buy tax and a 16.6% sell tax. 16.6% sell tax, and the buy tax, you're going to need a 5% slippage probably, and maybe 20% slippage on the sell sign there. Typically use an MEV, RPC node or whatever. So there we go. To protect yourself from MEV bots if you're doing trades. There's the marketing down. Marketing down ticking away there. It's got $2,000 almost on it. So that's ticking away. We're going to get more news on that soon. And it's going to promote the game and make it grow. That's kind of cool. So that is the old Pulsechain. But we'll quickly look at some of the maps. Let's go have a look at the New York map where my family is in, right? The Directorate Allegiance with all its families, five families. Part of. And let's see some of the development there. So we've got lots of development going on. We've got lots of stuff around the ocean there. This is in the elite area, right? So that's the most expensive area. And we've got the green area, the upper areas, sort of like the class area. And then we've got the common area, right? All everything else. So it's a huge area, about 10 times bigger than everything else. And we've got lots of development going on, buildings going on in the game. So kind of cool. I love these hotels at the front, kind of ticking away. These hotels, pretty cool. All right, so that's kind of neat. Let's jump over to, that's pretty much it. Let's go have a look at Las Vegas where the gearheads are at. They got the strip right over there where they got the gamblings. They lost a big money though, didn't they? They lost a $2,100 on the roulette there. Had to shut that down. That was pretty high drama. Yeah, TikTok. So where's that? Here it is. Here's the roulette. That was down, lost 2,100 there. Now, obviously, they've done a lot of development in the strip. So, lots of hotels and this and that. And of course, big shout out to Wookie the Blade. He's got the High Tables villa sitting right amongst the rest of the gearheads. Isn't that hilarious? We always find that funny. We chuckle on that all the time. So if you're in the gearheads, yeah, we do have a good chuckle about that. Why not? All right, so that is Pulse Mafia, but there's BNB Mafia too. Let's quickly check that. And of course, we've got some, I'll quickly speed through this. We've got 1,016 players on there, 23 crime families. We've got a brand new crime family. So they're coming, and they're pretty seasoned. They pretty know how much to play this game. We've got 246 BNB in the vaults, 4,280 valuable tiles. So there was hardly any tiles left on Pulsechain, but there's still tons left on BNB. So it's a good opportunity if you want to get some good tiles and with some developments there. So not bad. What else there? We got Carmen's in the house says, I really need to catch up on Pulse this run. Been holding since sacrifice anything popping off. Well, PDC, the grey has popped off, UFO popped off. There's quite a few out there. So yeah, there's a couple. Join the Discord and you can find out more coming. Links in the video description. All right, so kind of cool. Let's jump over to the players there. We got the Syndicate number 1, the Elite OGs number 2, the Mugnaus number 3, Black Thistles number 4, and the Yakuza at number 5 by worth. But the Elite OGs got the top spot in the vaults. The Black Thistles are number 2. But Syndicate's number 1, so keep a lookout for that. It'll be popping soon. We got this new big family coming in here, the Disturbed, slowly climbing through the ranks there, and keep an eye out on that one. Yeah, so TikTok, it's playing pretty well. The maps, 2 of the maps are sold out. The Elite OG's got Las Vegas. The Syndicate, which I'm part of, has got Chicago. The Black Thistles are slowly creeping up on selling out Bogota. 75 tiles are left. The rest of the maps have quite a few tiles, with the exclusion of Napoli. The Mugnaus there, there's only 304 tiles left there. So there we go. TikTok that is building out there. Now you got to have a quick look at Las Vegas for the OGs because it's kind of hilarious. You have a look at this. Let's have a look at this. So we saw that the Gearheads building out on the Strip and the Las Vegas on Pulsechain. Well, you've also got the OG Elites over here doing something pretty similar. So you can see they're building out, not quite as developed as the Gearheads on Pulsechain, but they're building out their hotels over here. But what they have done is this is their HQ, their headquarters, and they've built all these hotels here, right? All these hotels. So it's an ROI game. They're trying to earn in-game currency. Lots of hotels, and they're all high defense, right? 100 defense power on each of these hotels. So if they happen to be there, that's going to give them good defense line. So kind of cool. That's what's happening there. Once again, the businesses are open over here as well. The roulettes. So the roulettes are there. We've got a little bit different results at the moment. We got Detroit and profit 373,000 in money. Ben the Terrible, that person not in a family from the looks of it. At least they're not labeled with one. Ben the Terrible in the Syndicate up 200,000. Lucky on the Elite OGs is down 10 million. It's not that lucky, is it? Lucky is the Don of the Elite OGs. We always talk about the unlucky life and death of Lucky. That's our going saying inside the directorate. Because we're not sure he's going to be that lucky in the game. The unlucky life and death of Lucky. Anyway, apparently he's not been too lucky in the Las Vegas so far, just the way it goes sometimes. Anyway, Green Eyes there is up 300,000 in the Syndicate, and he's closed his casino for the time being. So there we go. All right, so let's jump over to, it's a bit of fun. Let's go to the crates at the moment. Obviously, you can buy any in-game assets at the moment. There's still 47.3 million Mafia in the Mafia prize, so that's pretty cool. And the sound, there's a soundtrack as well. So remember the sound on this thing. So I just started playing. The exchange. Now we saw that the ratio is about 22, 23 over on Pulsechain. Well, on BNB, it is very different. Still an uptrend in the in-game cash. You can see that. So tokenomics are driving the price up. But the ratio is not 22, 23. It's 3.27, can you believe it? So, and there's big volume gone overnight. They're $2,700. That's impressive. So, a good volume overnight there. So, yeah, ratio is very high over here. Money is scarce. But there are those people earning the in-game cash at the hotels. So, I'm sure some of that will make its way to the market. What else are we going to say? Yeah, they've still got the conversion button, right? You convert tiles. Still got the OTC desk, right? So, you can do over-the-counter deals. Looks like there's one in there at the moment. And you can still buy bulk keys. What else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the marketplace, the secondary market. You can buy and sell everything over there too. Different market, of course, different supply and demand. The vaults, let's have a look at the vaults. 246 BNB over there at the moment, $162,700 in BNB. So if you add that up to the old Pulsechain side, over $500,000 well clear So pretty awesome. And like I said, this is going to become a multi-million-dollar game. I think we can see that. We just need the 2x, 2.5x in the prices, and suddenly we're there, right? So pretty crazy. And the marketing DAO got its own marketing DAO. $721 in at the moment, but keep a lookout for this. I think it's going to probably grow pretty dramatically in the future there. So keep a lookout for that. So that's pretty much Mafia, and the price of Mafia there on Pulsechain is climbing quite nicely. So kind of cool. I think do I have this on the watch list? I think I might do Mafia. BNB is also up. It turns out BNB is up 11.7%. So they're both up today. Nice little movements there. And Mafia, you can get lots of Mafia on BNB at the moment, even with this little pump that's had today, because it's a lot cheaper. It's only 0.0047. So you might get like a 4-to-1, 5-to-1 versus Pulsechain Mafia. So there we go, bit of opportunity. Now, the other one I was going to talk about is a PUSD ALGO. Now, this is another project from Jacob. Jacob is obviously the founder of Mafia, founder of Pulsepot, BNB Pot, founder of the TRH game that was very popular. And of course, here he is with PUSD ALGO project coming up. And he's talked about making this come to life. We also, PUSD ALGO got some attention from Rack and Rochelle, the big VC whale, the #1 sacrifice wallet. So we'll see where he heads with the PUSD ALGO. But definitely, this is the full decentralized peer-to-peer botic limit order bots that will keep this pegged. We saw on testnet perform versus the liquidity forks and the Coast stablecoin with the fiat backing, and it outperformed both of those models on stability with the dollar peg. So very exciting there. That was a live testnet on Pulsechain back in the day, and now we've got Jacob talking about taking this to the market. How is he going to do it? Is it going to be standalone with a nice earning platform with all the different earnings? Remember, you can provide liquidity with the stability miner. Now, this is an old UI, so the UI will probably be updated, UI, UX experience. But you have the old stability there. You can obviously mint PUSD with ALGO. ALGO obviously means algorithmic there, so it's kind of the name. And PUSD is the best brand name for a stablecoin on Pulsechain. PUSD just makes sense, right? You'll be able to earn over here and everything else. There's going to be earning DAI, ALGO, wrap PUSD, which is the the reward version of wrap of USD. You'll be able to stake as well. Stake your algo and things like that, and they're going to have rewards coming out at different times, based on a random number generator, things like that. So they're waiting for Signum, right? Signum Oracle, which is expected to launch very, very soon. So we're looking for that. It's going to be a redeem page, right? So you're about to redeem PUSD algo. But man, the secret sauce is the stability miners keeping that dollar pegged. And if you remember back in the day, they had the chart up. I'm not sure if it's still popping up here. Yeah, this is an old one from memory. Yeah, this is not the real chart. This is it's the real chart, but they're not operating it right. So it's all the bots are not working and all that from the looks of it. But it was making money too. It was making profit while it was doing it. So I don't know, man. It looks like the holy grail. It's basically Terra Luna done right, with no hands on. There's no humans involved, no Bitcoin backing, things like that. No exchange gap there. This is full DeFi, which is Jacob's signature, right? Probably the best peer-to-peer developer in the world, hands down. And he's looking to build this out. So very bullish about that. We noticed that the docs had gone down. So they had pulled all the docs down, which means they must be reworking all that. Pretty exciting. And in Telegram, only about a week ago, he said, "Yeah, we're going to be doing this. It's going forward. Get on board." Now, is he going to integrate it into the Mafia game? Is he going to be doing what? Because he's got a bigger roadmap. Is he going to be integrating with his casinos, or the whole thing's going to get some sort of integration? We don't know. But and regardless of it's standalone integrated, I think it's going to be pretty exciting. People are going to be able to earn yields, and we're going to have a truly, I think, close to a true stablecoin on Pulsechain. Now, obviously, people are looking out for the PDime maker theory to play out with Richard Hart. Now, that's still on the table, but this is coming as well. So very, very excited to see this, and having a stablecoin it stays pretty much pegged. Going to be huge. And remember, just like Terra Luna, this could scale a lot, and we don't have any scale solution at this stage on Pulsechain. So those liquidity forks and Coast, they have modest scalability, whereas this could have very large scalability. So we're going to see how that plays out with adoption and things like that. So, but in any case, if you want to pick up a bonus, it's pretty easy. You just send money to this sacrifice or contribution wallet, ends in E223. and you can send any of these tokens on Pulsechain or Ethereum, eDai, any of these ones, Pulse, PulseX, whatever, to contribute. At the moment, the total balance, including bonuses, is 443,709. Now, remember, this is different from other sacrifices or contributions because, first of all, we've got a dev that's actually building and delivering. And secondly, we've got 75% of the funds are going to be going into LP pools day one. So there's no money slushing around somewhere else. This is 75% going into LP pools because you need these different pairs with ALGO and PUSD and everything. That they'll be going in a day one, 75%. So you know that your money is going straight back into the system to make it work. So it's kind of cool. Now, there are two bonuses. There's the 19% referral bonus. You can get the link in the video description if you want to participate. And number two is if you do $1,000 inclusive of the referral bonus, you get access to a second bonus, which is called Bonus X, and that gives you up to 2x bonus. You can see that over on the right here, right? This bonus here to up to 2x. That's going to be random generated, so you don't know what you're going to get between 1.01 and 2 x times, but that could be very, very good indeed. Having a look at somebody who's used a 90% one, let's go have a look at someone who's pretty marginal on the table here. Let's go down to table 5. You see there's quite a few people who have done over $1,000. Let's go to... let's find one that's just below here. So this one here used $1,000. So the $1,100 didn't use any referral code, so it missed out on 90%, which is not really good thinking, is it? You want to get all your bonuses you can. So did use no referral code, but did $1,001, so got access to that second bonus, the bonus X, right? I ended up getting a 1.51. So it's okay, it's right in the middle, right? So I ended up turning $1,000 into $1,500. That's your effective dollars that are going to be used because for every dollar that you put in, you get 20 ALGO coins, 200 Flex tokens, and 0.1 wrap PUSD. So remember, ALGO is the token for the platform that you convert into stable coins. Flex is what you earn on the platform. So whatever activity you do, providing liquidity, all sorts of things, you're going to get a little bit of Flex. It's the reward token for the platform. And then you also get a bit of stable coin there too. So there we go. That is the breakdown. You can see the breakdowns of what people get at the top here. Now, looking at this wallet that did $1,000, it did $1,000, 1,001. It got a $1,500 with that second bonus X, and so ended up with 30,000 ALGO, 302,000 Flex, and 15 wrap PUSD. That's what it will get on the drop once the platform goes live, and they can go stake that and start earning off the platform, all sorts of things like that, right? So that's the play. Now this one here used a referral bonus of 19%, which is almost as high as you can get. 20% is the max, but 19%. The links in the video description. And they got $1,009 there. That means that they got, just because of the referral bonus, they might have done like $800 or something, $820. They ended up getting that 19% bonus, and that put them over $1,000. So you could do $800 and something. Just got to make sure with the referral bonus that you get that $1,000, right? And then they ended up, because they got the $1,000, they ended up qualifying for bonus X, and so they ended up getting a random number of 1.92, which is like on the high side, right? So that's like fantastic, almost doubled their bonus there. So they went from $1,009. They probably put $800 in or so, and they ended up going to $1,009, and then got the second bonus, ended up at $1,937. So they did really well, right? And they ended up getting, all these tokens, 38,000 ALGO, 387,000 Flex, and 19 wrap PUSD. So pretty excited about that. I know that Cult DeFi is excited about PUSD ALGO coming, and after we got that message from Jacob, the founder, that it's coming. So what the final form looks like, we don't know, but it's going to be fun to see. So if you want to participate, that is the wallet there. You're also going to help contribute to those funds that are going to be used for the LP pools. And that's going to be pretty exciting. Maybe it's going to be integrated into Mafia. Maybe it's going to be integrated into the wider casinos that he's got, Pulsepot and things. We shall see. But, the growth of Mafia at the moment is going very, very well, and it's going to continue to ramp up. I'm so excited to where this will go, be one of our key stable coins. We've got 3 liquidity forks on Pulsechain. We've got 1 fiat back one. Potentially, we have PDI Maker out there coming up. We have 1 or 2 smaller little tinky tokens which aren't actually pegged. Yeah, I think it's pretty exciting. where this is going. And this was under testnet. This was the most stable peg, so it was virtually around $1. So often they can depeg to 90 cents or whatever. Didn't happen with this. So very excited about this new model with these stability miner bots. Kind of cool. So that is the play where we are at the moment on that one. And so the link's in the video description if you want to participate for that 90% bonus there, get onto that one. So that is pretty much it on our Pulsechain coverage. And it's been a while since I covered PUSD, so I thought I'd do that too. We've got Moondog in the house there. Love and like. A big shout out to Moondog there, doing some big stuff on the old Mafia game. And definitely, having a good time there for sure. A big community member in the Telegram too, making lots of comments every day, keeping the chat fun and vibrant there. Archipelago, you remind me of the Don of Dons. It is the Don of Dons in the Mafia game. Big shout out to you, Archie. Hi all. Crushing it out there, absolutely doing an amazing job. People don't even know what he does behind the scenes, just unbelievable. And the Directorate Allegiance making fear real, and Archie is our evil genius there. Pretty awesome. All right, so go for gold. All right, so let's quickly check on the TitanX Omnichain X28. That is going live. There's also a big campaign on X at the moment to get millions of impressions, and so far they've got over 1 million impressions. So it's going pretty well for TitanX. Looking for the bottom of wave 2, and maybe we're here. Now we had a good, nice green candles, so we'll check that out. So let's go for gold. Where should we start though? Should we start with Jake? We'll start with Jake himself, founder of TitanX. And bam, there we go. So Jake there, he's been posting stuff out here. Yesterday he said in the final testnet phases for the X28 Omnichain bridge, it's days away, not weeks away. So this is huge for TitanX. This is a major expansion to Omnichain. So Omnichain basically means so X28 is a token which is exactly the same. Well, it's exactly the same. It's 1-to-1 essentially, plus or minus. It's basically 1-to-1 for TitanX. Now the ratio can change slightly, but it's basically 1-to-1. But the X28 is the Omnichain version. In other words, it can go onto other chains, multi-chain, but it's Omnichain because it's only got one supply. That one supply is Genesis or starts from Ethereum. So if there's 100 billion tokens on Ethereum and you move 10 billion of those tokens over the Omnichain bridge, which is using the layer 0 technology, and then that 10 billion goes to, say, base chain, then you've only got 90 billion on the Ethereum left. Does that make sense? So it's Omnichain from that point of view. So if you're wondering what that means, that's the idea. Now, if it was multi-chain, you'd probably say, well, X28, which is the TitanX, would end up being copied. So you'd end up basically doubling the volume, right? You'd have 100 billion on Ethereum, then 100 billion on base chain, 100 billion on Pulsechain. So that's kind of a multi-chain approach. But an Omnichain approach is that you just have one supply on Ethereum, and then you're shifting some of that supply to these other chains. And you get, basically, it's kind of a semi-lock because you're moving it to other chains. The only connection which connects the value up is typically arbitrage bots that go cross-chain, right? So we have arbitrage bots and stuff acting on-chain, MEV bots and things like that, looking for those arbitrage opportunities. But then we're moving cross-chain. What does that also mean? It means that you can open up projects on other chains with the X28, which is basically TitanX. You can pair them up together in liquidity pools and dexes and farms, get access to more dex aggregation. So you're creating all this new value. You're getting all these new clients, all these new users using it. So it's a pretty big deal. And then in addition to that, you're also going to be able to add farms, like I say, and dex aggregators will come through the volume. So you're going to get all this, pick up some free volume, basically. So pretty exciting where this is going to head. And of course, you bring a lot of new offerings, particularly to chains that are dominated by meme coins. You're adding a lot more because they bring a lot more utility. Programs like dexes and farms and things like that, especially farms that are new to crypto, that are using fees. All the fees that end up burning X28. So you're going to be burning off all that away. So you got farms that are going to be burning off X28. This basically TitanX being burned off. So you're adding all this more buy and burn pressure, basically, in addition to the V1 buy and burn that's sitting in TitanX. So masterful. So you basically horizontal, vertical scaling. It's pretty epic. And then in addition to that, you're going to have lots of other things coming. So yeah, cross-chain bridge arbitrage as well. So it's just going to be game on. More third-party protocols built on top of X28. You can see that the value chain just keeps going and going. So going to be pretty neat. So that's some of the stuff that's coming within days. A pretty big point there. They had some big. They got a big campaign at the moment, putting out millions of impressions around TitanX. So everyone's posting out like 100 posts within 24 hours to get those impressions up. Going pretty good. So lots of influencers out there coordinating, lots of community members coordinating. Pretty excited. It's awesome. And X28 is coming to base chain. That is the first chain that it's going to, right? So base is sitting at number 2, I think, on Dex Screener as top volume. So it's going to be pretty excited. We also already know that quite a few influencers and community members over there are excited about TitanX coming and adding this new value to the chain. So it's going to be pretty neat to see that. Yeah, pretty cool. So lots of cool posts there coming from Jake Sharp around all these activities about X28, about the promotion activity on X at the moment. So pretty exciting. And of course, base chain NAM. So that's pretty neat. Let's have a look at some of the charts. I've got some of the leader charts here. We're seeing some nice little movements for Volt. So Volt obviously was a big darling at the beginning. Had millions of dollars, up to $5 million in one day go through the volume there. And the tokenomics of it are quite remarkable. So if you haven't joined our strategy club, links in the video description for that. We've been giving some updates about Volt and a lot of insights that people are not considering. So get in on that one. We've also got Shogun there. Ouroboros is supposed to be launching the next utility. It's going to be big lending in stablecoin. I still think that's probably within about a week away. And it was going to be before the end of January. I'm not sure if they're going to make that, but probably within the next week for sure. So that's up 12.7% at 8.7 cents. Not bad. Shogun sitting at number 3, up 12.5% as well. Obviously, Shogun is the X28 first protocol. We also have a Bonfire, I think, it's on X28 too. So yeah, doing some good stuff there. And when it goes Omnichain, this could really rally. Going to be pretty cool. Also going to potentially go over on that chain as well. We've got what else? We've got Tink Farms there is at 12 cents, just on 12 cents, up 10%. So we've got a bit of movement. X28 itself is at 9.44 cents here. Let's quickly jump in on X28 here and have a look at the ratio. And some of you may not have done this. So let's have a look at the TitanX ratio to X28. We can kind of see that we had a 1-to-1. This blue line's a 1-to-1 for X28 TitanX. Like I said, it's pretty much 1-for-1, but it can be, depegged in the liquidity pool a little bit. And here, as you can see, it's been slightly above, almost 1.01 has been the mark here, a 1.01. So you get 101 TitanX for 100 X28. Are we going to see a breakaway? Are we going to see a breakaway? The reason why a breakaway would be pretty interesting is because it may increase the transformation of TitanX to X28, right? Because the model, even though they're 1-to-1 essentially, or at least the same thing, is that the tokenomics are different, right? So X28 will burn 50% of the TitanX that goes to mint X28. You get a 1-for-1 for it in the platform, and the other 50% of TitanX that's used to mint X28 goes in the buy and burn and buys up X28 and burns it away. So we could see some interesting stuff as we go Omnichain, as more third-party projects are built on top of X28. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see all that play out. So keep a lookout for this ratio. I think it's pretty important moving forward, especially in the days ahead. And of course, all those Omnichain activities, cross-chain, on-chain bots operating. It's going to be fun to see that play out too. All burns away the TitanX supply ultimately. So that's what we're looking out for there. Hyper at the moment up 8% there. TitanX itself is up 8.3. Now, obviously, TitanX is the main game in town for this is the entry coin on Ethereum. We've had a little bit of a bounce back from 3,057. We're now at 3,333. Been as high as 3,492 today. Very important that TitanX heads back over 4,200. It's got 6 zeros at the moment, so that's what we're going to look out for there. That's on the US dollars. On the ETH side, which is probably a little bit more important, we've had a nice little pump today off the bottom. We're down at 10 zeros, 9,600. We're back at 9 zeros at 1085. So a nice little pump, but we do have a bit of work to do. Got to get over 1,300. Got to get over 1,500. So we can start zigzagging back up for wave 3, right? So wave 1 was a 10x, but we pretty much wiped out a big amount of that, and looking for wave 3, and we're about to go Omnichain. So the entry time, you want to buy low, right? It looks pretty low to me. You got a big roadmap ahead of you. That's value creation. And so we're looking for value, for that. And if February is a green altcoin season, then that's going to be double whammy, right? So that is the play at the moment on that. All right, so that's kind of there. Also, Jake's looking at AI agents, right? So going to be using those for LP, perpetual bids, basically, to help fund, push the market price up as well. So, and burn off TitanX. Kind of cool. The other big thing, of course, as you guys may know, is that TitanX went below 100 trillion, right? Went below 100 trillion. It's got 99.8 trillion now, so it's gone under 100 trillion. So it's a good milestone heading down. It is, and of course, I can see the liquidity's gone down a little bit too today, which is kind of nice. So that is that on that one. Let's jump out of there. What else? Viper at the moment. A few other ones here. Yeah, so keep a lookout for that. I think that's all I was going to talk about on that one. Shogun LP doing about 50K. Remember, about 8% of that goes back into the system. That's part of the secret source, the buying, free buying, basically, because you're buying off volume and you're burning away Shogun, which is kind of neat. Let's quickly have a look at Shogun, look at that supply quickly, and then we're going to wrap up on that. So like I say, there is a big campaign online at the moment, and it looks like they are getting the millions of impressions thereafter, so that's kind of cool for TitanX and before they go into base chain. What do I got there? We got 419 million tokens now being burned, 15.15%. This is going up about 3.5 million tokens a day are being burnt, which is pretty good. And so, yeah, that's ticking away kind of nicely on the old Shogun. We're going to quickly look at Vaults over here. And Vault at the moment is doing spectacularly. Now, I've got a secret source thing in Strategy Club. If you haven't joined that, links in the video description. Only $35 a month to join that. And I got a great write-up about Vault, so that I haven't seen anywhere else. So get on that one at the moment. So that is that's 598,213,000 tokens left. That is going down. It used to be 1,055 million. So that's going down pretty nicely. Some secret source around that. So keep a lookout. Burning about 1.3 million tokens a day at the moment. There we go. All right, so that is it on that one. Let's jump away. I think that's all I want to talk about. There was a really cool live stream for Jake they had yesterday. If you can check that out, definitely do that. And at the moment, they are definitely doing lots of promotion around TitanX. You can see there's a lot of live shows on at the moment on TitanX on X. In the lead up before they go to base chain for the first Omnichain chain. It's going to be crazy. Going to see a lot of tokenomics play out there. Going to be a lot of fun. All right, so we're 53 minutes on the hour. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show today. I think everything's looking pretty good. Bitcoin's still over 100K. Interest rates tomorrow going to be interesting. All the tech results for the top 7 are coming out. It's going to be fun. Lots of different news coming out. President Trump obviously crushing it out there, doing an incredible job. I do wish we had a Trump to run our country. Oh my gosh. Hey, look, we got the best result we could in the last election in New Zealand, but they're really disappointing and they're doing lots of bad things, unfortunately, and not doing a lot of things they should be doing. It's pretty easy to run a government. Let's be fair. It really is. I mean, you think people say, oh, it's a big machine, but actually it's kind of simple to run a good government, with common sense. If you just common sense, you can run a very good government. But we have a lot of people, power corrupts, right? Power corrupts. We have a lot of people with bad agendas, bad agendas. So just the way it goes. And but Trump is a breath of fresh air, shining light. Now, sometimes you have to be tough. You have to be tough to get. He's got to fix up a lot of bad things. So if you think, oh well, it's a bit tough. Well, he's got to be tough because they've done a lot of damage. So a lot of tough things have to be done to get us back on the right track. But freedom will reign, and prosperity and safety will reign, and that's what people want, right? People want to be able to live next to their neighbor and peace and safety, and maybe even get to know them, and of course prosper and enjoy life. So it's good to see him, doing what it takes to do that. So very excited about where that's heading. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to see in Discord, links in the description, and of course PUSD ALGO link is in there as well if you want to get that 90% bonus plus bonus X if you do $1,000 inclusive. And of course Mafia, get on that game. It is growing, and you can see the charts there starting to look really good in that uptrend. Lots of cool things coming from Jacob, and he's definitely probably our most creative top tier dev in Pulsechain. We have some very good ones. I'm thinking of David Feather. I'm thinking of Dip Capture. There's a few others out there as well. It really is cool. Alex McFerder, they do all sorts of great jobs. So excited to see where that all goes. All right, take care, everybody, and I will catch you on the next show. Bye for now. Let's go. I'll play the video again. I'll play Richard's video. I love that video. Magic Carpet Ride's coming. It is coming to town. We're going to find out the SEC, right? The court case that's coming. Let's see where we head up. It's supposed to come out in the next 24 hours or something. We'll see. We'll see when that actually hits. But I think 28th was the date. All right. Definitely bye for now. All right. Catch you on the next show.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.